The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hi everybody, it's Tier Zero Comics, otherwise known as the better YouTuber named Logan, and today I'm going to be reviewing Gemini Jump by Perch and Lyric King. So as you might have seen, the video title is sort of clickbait. I don't think the comic is that bad, but it's not like the best. I think it's just fine. So first, I don't really like the art. I think the lines are a little too thick, and like, I don't know if I can say this, but like the breasts sort of look goofy. So I backed the digital version, which was $3, because I wanted to support Perch, but I didn't really like Lyric King's art, so I bought the cheaper digital version, right? And then some of the characters look a little cartoony, but that's just the style, I guess. But overall, I don't really like the art style. So additionally, on page 6, like, I think Lyric King was talking about how he wants to draw a woman, you know, that look attractive or whatever, and that's fine. But then their shirts, like the logo, like it's not like warped or anything, you know, it's just like flat. So if you look at like modern Marvel comics, you know, is that why they draw a woman or a man like that? Because like the artist doesn't have to like warp like the shape on their costume, like they could just draw it like it's a piece of wood or something. Like what's going on here? So as for the writing is sort of good. Like the plot is pretty entertaining, and the dialogue isn't annoying like Bendis or Tom King. But here you can see that the speech bubbles, they use like a unique thing where it's like there's lines connecting the speech bubbles. However, I think they could have used some more commas. So here we have page 15. This character, I think it's Liz, right? She says, "Next time I see you, that dumb face of yours, I'm gonna whoop your." So I think they could have used some commas here, since if the dialogue was said aloud, a human would typically pause in between saying some words. So, "Next time I see you, comma, that dumb face of yours," and maybe they could have put in ellipses here, like ... "I'm gonna whoop your." Now I don't think they used ellipses, like that's just their decision for the dialogue. They use like dashes instead, so whatever. But then if we go to page 40, here the villain says, "You better hope there arrives soon, or your little prince will spend eternity at the bottom of this desolate pit." So I think there should be a comma like right after soon. "You better hope they arrive soon, or your little prince will spend eternity." So you can notice I paused like right there. So then the worst part about the dialogue was that on page 22, I saw that there was a typo. It's like, "They were wizards with water, so much so that the compressed the entire contents of and see into the egg you now hold." So I think it should be, "They were wizards with water, so much so that they compressed the entire contents of a sea into the egg you now hold." So then I checked the script and I couldn't find the page in the comic, so I had to, you know, Control F in the script, and I guess it was like that originally in the script as well. So maybe they could have had an editor double check that. So going back to the dialogue, so here you have the two characters, Betty and Liz, and they have distinct personalities, so it's not too difficult to tell who's speaking, you know. Here you have Liz. She's like headstrong and acts tough, and then Betty is sort of a softer, more emotional person who's sort of kind, and she also wears glasses, so I think that's supposed to imply that she's smart. And then going to page 32, she sort of is talking about like she sort of has like a little bit more knowledge, I think, or at least it's implied. But another interesting about page 32 is this dialogue is a little strange, because I'm not sure which speech bubble you're supposed to read first. It's like, Okay, okay, think, Betty, think. And then are you supposed to read myth? Or are you supposed to read something from history? Or are you supposed to read something from history first, and then this speech bubble? Okay, okay, think, Betty, think. So I'm not sure. So that was my thoughts on the dialogue. My thoughts on the plot and the story is, let me see. So going to page 6. Here on page 6, they're sort of getting the exposition and stuff on why they're going on the quest. And then by page 7, they're like at the whatever temple, right? So like in between, they were able to get to the temple, which was sort of surprising because I thought maybe there would be more of a journey to get there. But maybe they have like teleportation powers so they could just, go there. But then later on page 38, they take like the long way, so they're like actually walking back to like the village and stuff. So I don't know why they didn't use their teleportation powers, although maybe it was because they didn't want to like fall from like 30 feet from the sky or something. So maybe that might be why. So I like the concept of like the egg holding like an entire sea, I guess, inside of it. So that was pretty interesting. So one of the things I did like about the comic was on page 37 where Liz and Betty defeat the robot monster. And here Liz says she feels sort of bad for it dying since it's just burning up after getting defeated with one hit. And she's like, it was so pathetic. It got hurt once, couldn't handle it, and then it burst into flames. So I did chuckle aloud a little bit when I read this scene. Okay, so overall, I like this form, the digital PDF, because you could scroll up and down, and it's sort of like the read comics online format, whereas Comixology has that guided view, but it's not always good. And when you read Comixology on your computer, it's like it's blurry. The images are not crisp. So guided view isn't very good because it's just zooming in and it's like a JPEG. It's not a PNG, So, but for this, the images were crisp. I can zoom in and out without it losing any like quality, and I could just scroll up and down. So that was good. So at the very end, there are some interesting, maybe some loose ends, maybe. Like for example, if the villain like dropped the egg, I'm assuming the egg like it cracked, so all the water came out, right? Wouldn't that allow the villain to like survive because like he could just land in the water, I mean, they even say like it's not like swirly, it's going to climb back up and drag us to our doom, right? So maybe that leaves the possibility that the villain is still alive. And also I have a question on how many worlds are there. It seems this only shows 2, but then it seems to hint that there are a few more at the very end. So, but then it's like, well, can they control where they jump to? Like, so they only happen to jump to like 2 worlds and that's it. They don't like, they don't travel anywhere like unexpected or what. So I don't know. So in the bonus material, there's some art from Perch, and it's fine, I guess. But then it's like, why is this first image large and these other images large, but then like this like page here is like small? I don't know why. They're all just the same size. So this description is talking about how the tone of the story is like Indiana Jones meets shonen manga vibes and some horror, but the horror is only as scary as Gremlins. So basically it sounds like it's an 80s PG-13 adventure movie, and I guess yeah, it did sort of read like that. So overall I would give this a 6.5 out of 10, but if I worked for CBR I'd give it an 8 out of 10 because they always give every comic they review an 8 out of 10. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check out The Wonderful Life of Wilma the Cat on Webtoon Canvas. It's free to read. At the start of the video I was commenting on how I disliked Larry King's art. My art isn't very good either, but at least it's free to read, So you don't have to pay $3 to read a story with, you know, just okay art. Yeah, see? Like I drew this in MS Paint. So thanks for watching. Bye.